Tashkent office, Uzbekistan. I am Adham Ikramov. Please, Mr. Edric Ong, as a moderator, can you switch on your microphone? Mr. Edric. And
hello.
Hello. Other microphones should be switched off because today the moderator we give this opportunity, and I am thankful to Mr. Edric Ong to be a moderator of this session.
Thank you very much.
We can start.
Good afternoon and welcome to this special memorial tribute to our dear friend, our President of World Crafts Council, our past President of World Crafts Council, Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi. This is our simple way to express our heartfelt condolences to her family and to the crafts community at large for all that Dr. Ghada has done and achieved, and the legacy of hers continue on for generations to come. For this special Zoom event hosted by World Crafts Council Asia Pacific Secretariat based in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. May I now pass the time to Dr. Adham Ikramov, the present President of World Crafts Council Asia Pacific region, to give his welcome remarks. Dr. Ikramov.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I cannot share with you a good day and cannot tell the welcome, because from the first minutes when we heard about the irrepressible loss of Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi, we all been on deeply felt sadness. And I told to Mr. Edric Ong, our advisor and past vice president, many years, who worked with Dr. Ghada. And at that time, I really feel something that's, that I lost very close, my teacher, my very good friend, and I really cannot share with you anything, but I want to invite you to the memory of Dr. Ghada, because many of yours who now is online Zoom in our session, they all of yours, many years, much more than myself know her, and I only want focus for the first our meeting with Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi in this office. And at that time, in Uzbekistan, we only want to share the handicrafting and artisans with the world. But it's not possible really find another person who does this job for Uzbekistan especially, for Asia Pacific regions since many decades of the years, better than Dr. Ghada Qaddumi does. And I only remind now the proudness of Dr. Ghada for her husband, for her two sons, and we share our family relations. And she told me about how important the lawyer way, which one of the son choose. And I'm looking to many decades of years, and all times I be in my remind that one person who love the Uzbekistan, love the handicrafters, history, culture of Uzbekistan, and now among the hundreds of thousands handicrafters, artisans, and the many thousands of the people who know the Dr. Ghada, they now feel very deeply sadness, and among us, the thousands of handicrafters of Uzbekistan. In Kokand Festival, Dr. Ghada find for each handicrafters and artisans some optimistic words, and I see how many people want to share with you, handshake with her, and really she was absolutely clever, intelligent lady and scientist person. We share with her about the Kuwait Museum and Arts work, and I am sure that in Kuwait, hopefully our ambassador share with us, many of Kuwait people also feel same as we today. In the last days of our communications, we discussed the Awards of Excellence program, and it was some of the ideas from Dr. Ghada how it's possible to organize it online. I remember that with Mr. Kevin Murray and with Manjari Nirula and other her colleagues, we announced the encyclopedia in Kokand. We are preparing the second festival in Kokand with Dr. Ghada, and really I am now cannot thinking about how we can do this event without Dr. Ghada. And also we discuss about the thinking about how possible in the time of second International Festival of Handicrafters in Kokand to organize it the buildings where we looking to create the World Museum of Handicrafters. And last week I visit the Kokand, how the preparations was done, and share with the mayor of Kokand, Mr. Maruf, about the energy of Dr. Ghada. I am a medical doctor, and so many people now we lose, but some of them, it is all times, will be in our heart, in our midst, and the many years I, especially not only for handicrafting, how I don't know how many years I will be in this team, but she is really, for me, it's very close. I cannot say it like a mother, like a teacher, but she looking, and for me as her son, really. And I now send all my condolences for family. I also invite them to be today in this session, and I only thankful to all of you, the friends of Dr. Ghada, and especially Mr. Edric Ong to organizing and support for me with my staff for this session. And today with Mr. Ulugbek Abdullayev, President of Handicrafter Association, and with Vice President of WCC-APR, Mr. Aziz Murtazaev, and all with my team. We really very sad and it will be irreplaceable and irreparable loss for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ikramov, President of World Crafts Council Asia Pacific region. May I now ask the Secretariat to please share with us the order of the memorial tribute, the program that we have this afternoon. Okay, I know that maybe for some of us, the screen may be too small to read. So I will just share with you that after this, we will have a message by the ambassador of Uzbekistan to Kuwait, His Excellency Mr. Bakrom Aloyev, followed by a eulogy to be read by Madam Manjari Nirula. Then we will have 5 messages from past presidents of World Crafts Council Asia Pacific and from World Crafts Council, followed by a video and photo montage, then a message from the family of Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi. Then we will have 6 representatives from the different Asia Pacific region to say a few words, followed by prayers from Kuwait, and then a farewell word by Mr. Aziz Mutazaif. So from here, can I welcome His Excellency Mr. Bakrom Aloyev, the Ambassador of Uzbekistan to Kuwait, to give his message. His Excellency.
Dear His Excellency, Professor Adham Ikramov, President of the World Crafts Council, Asian Pacific region, dear members of WCC, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Ikramov for his initiative to organize this commemorative meeting dedicated to the memory of our big friend, Mrs. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi, President of the World Crafts Council. During the last 5 years, in my position as Ambassador of the Republic of Uzbekistan to the State of Kuwait, I had a big honor to work and cooperate very closely with Ghada Qaddumi. Since the first our meeting, we have developed very friendly relationship. She was not only an efficient colleague, but first of all, Mrs. Qaddumi was a sincere friend with big and open heart. It was very easy and big pleasure to work with Mrs. Qaddumi. In all questions, she was very constructive, competent, and impartial. Each my meeting with this beautiful lady had every time concrete results. Her sincere and perceptible smile always captivated all interlocutors. Today, Mrs. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi is not among us. Her death is a great loss for everyone. However, a great legacy remained from her. She devoted her whole life to beloved work. I remember this very big period when we cooperated very closely with Mrs. Qaddumi, when Uzbekistan became member of the World Crafts Council, and when in Uzbekistan we organized first Handicrafts Festival. And we appreciated highly her big contributions. Today, we are grateful to later Qaddumi for her great contribution to the development of handicrafts around the world, particularly to strengthening of the people's diplomacy. on my own and from the Embassy of the Republic of Uzbekistan to the State of Kuwait, I express my deepest condolences on the passing of a big friend, Mrs. Qaddumi, and provide to her family and relatives the patience and fortitude. May Allah rest her soul in eternal peace and paradise. Her bright memory will forever remain in our hearts. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Mr. Bakram Aloyev, Ambassador of Uzbekistan to Kuwait. May I now call upon Madam Manjari Nirula to read the eulogy of Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi.
Friends, I was deeply saddened and shocked to hear about the sudden demise of Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi, my senior colleague with whom I had the good fortune to work closely for over 8 years. Ghada was a dynamic, strong, and remarkable lady whose exceptional academic and career achievements will remain an inspiration to many young people. She was a scholar with an interdisciplinary academic background. She was the first Arab woman to be elected president of the World Crafts Council Asia Pacific region, to which she was unanimously re-elected for a second term and now elected as the president of the World Crafts Council International. She was a very able administrator with an unparalleled drive. She left behind a much more energized and active council. It will be unlikely to hear of anybody from various crafts councils worldwide who had not met Dr. Ghada. She was a very special lady and will be missed by everybody. Her enthusiasm, her empathy, her attachment to the craft sector will always remain with us and continue to inspire us. There are many firsts in her working as president. She took a personal initiative to fully fund the first ever online encyclopedia of handicrafts for the promotion and preservation of crafts in our region. She connected with all the 6 sub-regions and never missed an opportunity to participate in their activities and functions. She also organized many events from different regions of APR and World Crafts Council in Kuwait. To carry out these events, she had very strong support from the National Council for Culture, Arts and Literature, Kuwait. She was ably supported by her secretariat of Randa Al-Hussein, Girija Sudhakaran, and Mark Anthony Umbretta. She spearheaded the World Crafts City program and traveled to many cities as a member of the jury. Through her diplomatic skills and persuasive powers, she was responsible for activating several countries in our region, especially Iran, Nepal, and Uzbekistan. The last 3 General Assemblies were held in these countries due to her efforts. As I got to know Ghada, I realized she was not just a workaholic, but a woman who had great family values. She has 2 sons, Dr. Nabil and Saad Qaddumi, 4 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. From her conversation, it was evident that she loved her family and they meant everything to her. She always talked about how they respected and supported her work with our council and with the World Crafts Council International. Another thing that stood out about Ghada was that she was a great philanthropist. Most of us from the craft world can testify about her selflessness. She leaves behind a trail of beautiful memories we all cherish and remember for years to come. Our heartfelt thoughts and prayers go to the family in this time of their great loss and sorrow. While we grieve her loss, may we celebrate her life and in her honor, dedicate ourselves to the programs she was about to launch in her new avatar as the president of the World Crafts Council.
Thank you very much, Madam Manjari Nirula, or Manju as we know her. May I now invite the immediate past president of World Crafts Council International, Ms. Rosie Greenlees, to say a few words. Ms. Rosie Greenlees.
Thank you, Edric. I was so very, very sorry to hear the news of Dr. Ghada. It's still very hard to imagine that this is the case. Anyone who has met Dr. Ghada will know her passion for craft was unbounded. We all know that. We all experienced that. Her energy and her stamina was just phenomenal. The way that she traveled the world to visit artisans and craft organizations in the most obscure places, Dr. Ghada had been there. Her passion and her energy was just unparalleled. And I think her achievements in WCC-APR were very, very impressive. From where I sat in London, in Europe, I was always looking to see what was happening in APR and watching what you were doing under her leadership. And it felt entirely right and proper that she should take on the WCC International. And it is just such a great tragedy that we will not get to see what she would have achieved. And I'm really so very sorry about that. She struck me always as an incredible woman with a forensic eye for detail, her a capacity for picking up on my mistakes and correcting my minutes and all of those things was fantastic. And at the time, sometimes could be, oh no, but actually always she did it with the right reasons, for the right reasons, because she was a principled person. She wanted the processes to be done right. She wanted the principles to be adhered to. And I absolutely agreed with her on that. Again, I think, like others have already said, it really struck me how important her family was to her. She always spoke with great pride and love of her sons and her family. And I was very grateful and honoured to visit Kuwait for one of the projects that Dr. Ghada ran there. And she was so hospitable and warm and looked after us and invited us into her home. We had lovely food. We met her sons and the rest of her family. It was such a lovely, lovely time. I so much enjoyed myself. And it was that generosity of spirit that she had for supporting makers, for artisans, craft organizations, which I think was such a wonderful gift that she gave everyone. I remember very often sitting in taxis with her in different parts of the world, traveling around together to different events. And she told me about her life, such an amazing life, you know, her academic achievements, her achievements with her family, the things that happened to her, the way in which the family had to move and so forth. It was just so impressive, the way in which, despite all of these things, she'd achieved so much with her life. And she was what we would call in this country a grande dame, somebody who was respected, experienced, accomplished, influential, a senior figure in her field. But I also remember a woman who had achieved so much, who was someone who I greatly respected, who I looked up to. She was a warm, loving woman with a beautiful smile, always beautifully dressed and turned out, and such energy always to the end. And I know that myself and all my colleagues in Europe are so very, very sad and shocked to hear the news. Our greatest respects and condolences to her family, her friends, and her colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosie. We now would like to hear a few words from Madam Usha Krishna, also past president of World Crafts Council International. Madam Usha.
Friends, it is with a very heavy heart that I'm participating in this meeting today. Dr. Ghada was like family to me, and this loss is unbearable. But I think we should also celebrate her life. She has achieved so much in her life, and I think we should all celebrate that also. And much is being said about Dr. Ghada, which just goes to show how much she is being remembered, respected, that we're all going to miss her terribly. There is no denying the fact that her sudden departure comes as a rude blow to all those who've been associated with her. My association with Dr. Ghada dates back to at least a couple of decades. My first acquaintance with her was when she became a member of the WCC-APR during Madam Shiva Ubesekara's presidency. In view of her tremendous enthusiasm, empathy, dedication, attachment, and hard work, Dr. Ghada rapidly progressed to a very significant role in the organization, eventually rising to the position of the president of the WCC-APR, and that too for 2 terms. And now also to the president of the World Craft WCC International. I'm also extremely happy to say that she took over the mantle of the president of the WCC-APR from Madam Surapi in 2012 in Chennai during our AGM Kaivalam. She richly deserves each and every step of her elevation. It's been an honor for me to have had such a close and personal relationship with her during all these years. She supported me, encouraged me, and stood by me in all the activities that I was handling. She shared all her thoughts and ideas and would debate about them before they were implemented. It is very rare to see such a person who, despite being at the helm, makes every team member feel that he or she plays a very important part in enabling them to discharge their duties. I can unhesitatingly say that Dr. Ghada was one such person. We have traveled together to many places, far and near, villages, towns, and cities, and many of them for the evaluation of the Craft City program and for attending different assemblies and other events. Her presence was always a great source of strength and comfort to me. I admired her for going to every nook and corner of the region, visiting the craftspeople, even remembering their names. She would do her homework thoroughly before going on these evaluation programs. She did spend a lot of time with the craftspeople in all these cities. She was extremely diligent in acknowledging the dignitaries present and honoring them. Her presence in all the craft-related functions added to the official support for the crafts. During our visits to the towns and cities in the APR region, I could specially witness for myself the popularity and respect that she commanded among the organizers, the government officials, and the craftspeople. She was indeed a towering personality. Wherever she went, she would encourage more and more people to become members of our organization. Even during periods of lesser activity, she constantly kept in touch, inquiring about the family, sharing details of her travels, and other such trivia. It was a personal attention that she paid to getting to know the well-being of her friends and their families, and this made it very special in their lives. Once again, I convey my sincere condolences to the members of Dr. Ghada's family, and also to the members of her secretariat, Randa, Irija, and Mark, for whom the gravity of her loss is immeasurable. May God give them all the strength to bear this loss. Let us pray for Dr. Ghada's soul to remain in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Usha Krishna, past President, World Crafts Council International. May I now invite Mr. Zhou Chengzheng, past President, World Crafts Council International, who is speaking from China. Mr. Zhou.
可以了啊，尊敬的主持人、女士们、先生们，我怀着十分悲痛的心情来参加今天的网上云端对词会。
The dear host, ladies and gentlemen, I feel very sad to be here today for the memorial tribute to Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi.
当我听到尊敬的嘎达博士不幸病逝的噩耗，感到非常突然，简直是难以置信。
I couldn't believe it when I heard the sudden terrible news of Dr. Ghada's demise.
嘎达博士是一位十分令人尊敬的 WCC 亚太地区刚卸两任的主席，并且当选新一届的 WCC 主席。
Dr. Ghada was a respectful immediate past president of WCC-APR with 2 terms and the newly elected WCC International President.
他为亚太地区乃至世界首运事业做出了卓越的贡献。他的逝世是亚太地区乃至 WCC 的重大损失。
She has made outstanding contributions to the handicrafts industry in Asia Pacific region and even to the world. Losing her was a great loss to the Asia Pacific region and even to WCC.
是我们失去了一位杰出的专家型、事业型的领导，使我失去了一位德高望重的、慈祥善良的老大姐。
We've lost an outstanding expert leader who devoted to her career. I've lost a well-respected, kind and thoughtful older sister.
我们将永远怀念她，并向嘎达博士的家人致以深深的哀悼和亲切的问候。
We will miss Dr. Ghada forever, and she will be remembered. I'd like to send my heartfelt condolences to Dr. Ghada's family.
嘎达博士永垂不朽，谢谢。
I know that she will be forever remembered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zhou from China. May I now call upon Dr. Surapi Rojana Vong, past president of World Crafts Council Asia Pacific region, to give her message.
Right. Dear friends and colleagues of WCC and WCC-APR, I was stunned, and it's a really heartbreaking news when I received the unexpected departure of our very dear friends, Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi. To Saad and Dr. Nabil and Tarak, your mother and grandmother was an exceptional person, a warm with loving kindness to all. We had known each other almost over 2 decades ago through the craft activities of WCC and WCC Asia Pacific region. I had the pleasure and honor to working together very closely with her During my term as president of the WCC-APR, she was so dedicated and supportive to our cause in the promotion and development of arts and crafts in multiple ways. And I had the honor and privilege to nominate her to be our next WCC-APR president after me, which she has held for 2 terms of an outstanding 8 years of accomplishments. And again, to be the next WCC president for the next 4 years, 21 to 24. We were really looking forward to working in collaboration with her during her next 4 years, but now we have lost that precious opportunities. Her admirable accomplishments were numerous, as we all have said before and we all know, inclusive of the expanding of WCC-APR flagship of ongoing programs, such as the Natural Dyes, Crafts Education, Award of Excellence of Handicraft Products, and had initiated the online Encyclopedia of Crafts in Asia Pacific region, and funded by her son's kind support. In regard to the interrelation handicraft events and the World Craft Cities project, WCC-APR had a high score of 50 World Craft City in the Asia Pacific region for WCC. Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi made a point to attend all of the craft events personally, which has great impact with appreciation from all concerned. As a role model in all respects of generosity to artisans in need during disasters, strong leadership with loving kindness, and more, had inspired us all who knew and loved her. A great loss to all of us. May you rest in peace in heaven, Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi. We will always remember you and your goodness.
Thank you very much, Dr. Surapi Projanavong. We have a very special message now from Her Royal Highness Tuanku Aziza, Queen of Malaysia, would like to say a few words. Tuanku.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, all of you?
Yes,
Yep.
yes, Tuanku, yes.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I must say that when I got the news a few days ago and confirmed yesterday, I was very shocked and much saddened. I met Dr. Ghada in 2019 in India when I got the award. And in that few days that we sat together, she gave me much, she was my inspiration then, yeah? She became my mentor. She taught me so much. We got to know each other really well, and she shared so many ideas and our passions together. And this is indeed, for me, a great loss to the World Craft Council. I would like to offer my sincerest condolence to Dr. Ghada's family. In Islam, we say whenever we hear somebody die, we offer Al-Fatiha. So I would like to read Al-Fatiha to her soul now. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And we say also, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Allahumma firlaha warhamha wa afini warhamha. I am, as I said just now, I am very much sad and shocked. And may her soul rest in peace. And whatever she has taught me and inspired me to bring a craft to a greater heights in Malaysia, I will try my very best to do it in her memory. To the family, please accept my deepest condolence. And I am to hear all of you give such a tribute to a great dynamic lady. Thank you very much to everybody. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty, Queen Aziza. Nice to have you with us at this special session. We moved on, and may I now invite Yang Mulia Raja Fuzia binti Raja Tun Uda, past President World Crafts Council, Asia Pacific region, to give her message. Mangku.
Can you hear me? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tuanku, may I now extend dua from the artisans and the craftspeople of Malaysia, especially friends of WCC Malaysia, especially those in Kuala Lumpur, from my family, from my husband Adlan, and all those who have been feeling the profound loss and sadness ever since we heard her passing away on the eve of Friday last week. Friends and colleagues have spoken, and we have heard all that we should need to hear. I would like just to say, I, in my humble way, believe that all that has made Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi greatly thought of, and will be greatly missed. But Dr. Ghada has extended her caring attitude and generosity beyond the horizon of artisans and craftspeople. In a quiet way and in her loving way, she had been extending her generosity to others like orphans, single mothers, elderly people who live in old folks' home, and those who needed special education but does not have the means to do so. These had come to them every Ramadan. And as a trustee, it was an honor and privilege for me to do it for her. We shall miss that this Ramadan. I would like that we pause and recollect what happened on December the 5th, 2020. If you will recall and recollect how we saw her standing up so elegantly, taking the mic with her lieutenants sitting next to her, Randa, Girija, Mark, and Saad in the background. Almost taking the acceptance speech was almost like an oath-taking for the world. And as if all the world were listening to her then. I think in her memory, we should record that piece of acceptance speech because it was really and exceptionally different. I have attended conferences, both alive, to see that people accept with many thanks, and they leave whatever they want to do in the future to the future. But with a magnanimous feeling of wanting to be part, that night, we were all part of the event. She had actually spelled out what was her agenda. She has given us her vision. She has given us her mission. And thus, calling on us then to be with her and to step forward to energize ourselves better than 2020, post-COVID-19 period, so that together we could march on and do a greater job with greater pace and greater height achievement for WCC. I always think of those few minutes in which we felt the powerful call to each one of us to do our national service, to do our service to the people we call the artisans and the craftspeople. Not in a jokingly way, but perhaps in a silent thought, I had that night dubbed her as our desert rose, because Rosie, when she left, was known as the English rose. Desert rose was because you know the beauty and the aesthetics and the beauty and the aroma that the rose has come. So she stands at that beautiful symbol of beauty, elegance, and hope. But the desert is the one that could have killed her, that has killed many people. But then to be able to thrive, for the rose to thrive in the desert is an achievement. And for me then, the symbolic gesture of thinking of her as a desert rose is something that I would like to take on and think of it in the future. I would like to take this opportunity to also express our condolences to the family of the Qaddumi, to the two great sons who love their mother dearly and whom we always hear Ghada speak of them, to Tariq, the grandson, to the household whom we enjoyed the beautiful feast of food and cuisine from all over the world. And I always ask her, why are you cooking so much? We're so few people here. I mean, there's enough food for almost like 50, 60 people, and there were only about 10 or 12 of us. No, she said, we must cook in order to give away to others who cannot join us tonight. So that is part of that social responsibility and generosity she has for her neighbors. To the Secretariat, I know you will carry on the good work. And although decision will be made as to how much and so on, I know you will all stand steadfast to the hard work, discipline that she has given and established at the Secretariat in Kuwait. May I just conclude in saying that I feel when she decided that there should be more, that we should award a greater number of those who had given service to the World Crafts Council Asia Pacific region. And the General Assembly generously accepted her request. I cannot help feeling that somehow she knew that she needed that extra force to be with us 2021 onwards, to help us all to realize the agenda that she has drawn up so that together we can face the world of post-COVID-19. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I really feel at a loss because just one thought. It's a personal thing between Ghada and myself, but something that sustained our relationship, sustained that made our world of the World Crafts Council more tangible and a reality. At the break of dawn on every Friday, I would then send her a message about our work. Just a simple message of encouragement, including a prayer. And I will then wait when dawn awakes in Kuwait, when she will respond to that, and that becomes our agenda for the week. I shall miss that very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yang Mulia Raja Fuzia, for that very touching message. We have tried very hard to put together a photo montage video to remember Dr. Ghada, but also to celebrate her life. Let's see the video. Can I now call upon the son of the late Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi, Mr. Saad Al-Qaddumi, to say a few words on behalf of the family. Saad, please.
My brother Nabil will say a small tribute, then I will follow.
Mr.
Okay.
Mr. Please.
Can you hear? Is that okay?
Okay, thank you. Dear Honorable Presidents, members, Your Royal Highness, Your Excellency, my brother and I are humbled by your memorial tribute to our mother and by the wonderful and warm words said on her behalf. No one can say enough about their mother, but my brother Saad and I can say she lived a full and happy life. Happiness derived from her devotion to her family and to her passion for the World Crafts Council. WCC was etched in her heart and encrypted into her DNA. My brother Saad and I want to keep our mother's WCC flame lit and sustained, and therefore will continue our support to WCC and its objectives. My brother Saad had his daily WCC dose from our mother while they were having their daily coffee, who shared with him her aspirations for its success and enhancements. My brother Saad is keen to help you achieve a smooth transition and to help achieve the roadmap objectives our mother set for her term. Thank you.
I will follow him now. I wanted to start by saying that I've prepared a short tribute, like my brother, to my mother, but I'm afraid it is going to be long. Whenever my mother had a speech to make over the years as curator of the museum or university speaker or as vice president, she used to ask me to comment on it. And I would always say, please make it short, but to no avail. Now I'm going to do it her way, and you must bear with me like you did with her. I would like to read it aloud, and in reading it, I hope the heartfelt words will, in a sense, bring her to life in our minds, like all your tribute to her did. Thank you all for being here today for an in memoriam to my mother, Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi. As you know, the world has changed so much in the past year, as well as our lives from day to day. And where global health issues still keep us all physically separated, I appreciate your being here virtually to preserve my mother's connection to the WCC family and to join in honoring her. I'm also thankful to Dr. Adgham Ikramov, the president of WCC Asia Pacific region, for not only his letter of kindness and empathy, but also the invitation to this memorial tribute from around the world. I am proud to represent my mother today in expressing not only her achieved goals, but also her wishes for the continuity of her work, some of which I recall. She always spoke of her wish to fulfill her intentions to complete a reference collection of handicrafts encyclopedias. She believed that it would be not only a compiled body of knowledge, but also a resource to be shared with those with deeper interest in crafts. She considered it a sadaqah jariyah. As you know, the work is completed for Asia Pacific handicrafts, but there is more to do for other parts of the world, as well as publications. I hope that with the help of her network of contributors, I can complete her legacy to the crafts world. There are also developing the network of WCC World Craft Cities, as well as the WCC Award of Excellence for Handicrafts program every 2 years, and the annual project of inter-regional handicrafts events, which started in Kuwait in 2013. And now I would like to share some personal recollections of my mother as a member of WCC family. Since she first joined as member in 2004, she had been adventurous in many of her trips, causing me concern and some arguments with her about her safety, which she completely ignored and gave me one of her beautiful smiles to shut me up in an adoring way. But I was always happy and thankful to God when she returned home safely and full of life, and also many gifts to all. She enjoyed, after every trip since 2004, to express her joy when meeting the artisans in every village, town, or city, always looking forward to planning for her next accomplishment to save the interests of the artisans worldwide and to bring them together to share and benefit from each other's cultures. She contrived to unite societies through WCC with the objective to respect and accept the other's culture and folklore, even if it may be so different to each other. With an academic background in art and history and a growing interest to pursue her passion for artisanal crafts, she felt she wanted to do more, to be more supportive and contributing within the organization. In the short span of a few years in different ascending roles, we saw how she delighted in working towards many successes, how she drove member recruitment, planned regular conferences, organized exhibitions, and arbitered the selection of craft cities, to name a few, in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. In Dr. Akramov's kind words, her legacy is a much stronger World Crafts Council in our region, who will move forward with courage and confidence to continue her great work. For the Council, my mother worked tirelessly and wholeheartedly, but also assisted by a dedicated team whom she had groomed and who have become as committed as they are efficient. I'm sure you all know each one of them, and I would like to thank them today. Through the years in and through WCC, my mother had also forged lifelong friendships with many of you, which I know she nurtured and cherished. These friendships were important to her. To mention a few, Mrs. Usha, Raja Fozia, Faiqa, Manju, Mrs. Sorape, and Ruby, and there are so many others that I cannot recall all at once. I'm afraid I cannot call to mind all the names, but I know she was deeply fond of you all and treasured the close bonds she had with each. Thank you all profoundly for the outpouring of love and affection you have shown her, both in life and now. Your being here today affirms the importance and strengths of these ties. On a personal note, and from my family, my mother's legacy is the joy and happiness she has always brought us, and me and her family of children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. She was the very essence of maternal beauty, of wisdom and grace. For us, losing her is is the deepest sorrow we have known, and through our loss is heartbreaking. We take comfort she is loved and missed by so many and cherished by all near and far. Finally, to you all here today, we are deeply touched by your heartfelt expressions of regret and grief in the past week. And such is the strength of those messages that they have offered a more remarkable tribute that I can hope to offer my mother today. Together in sadness and in grief, I also feel a proud thankfulness that in remembrance and contemplation, she has given me the inspiration to write the words to celebrate her life. To my mother, I know no truer words were ever spoken than these. God has you in his keeping. We have you in our hearts. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saad and Nabil. And now we would like to invite representatives from the different WCC-APR regions to say a few words of condolences. First of all, let me welcome Dr. Nien Shah, representing WCC East Asia. He is Senior Vice President of WCC-APR. Dr. Nien Shah.
Your Honor, Chairman Ikramov, dear WCC colleague and friends, Dr. Ghada's family, friends, and relatives, I would like to express my deep sorrow and sincere respect here. Just now, people's morning speech to Dr. Ghada deeply moved me. My heart was deeply touched. As like all my friends here, I felt very much shocked by the news that we lost Ghada. I still can't believe, since I joined the WCC-APR big family in 2018, I have enjoyed the deep friendship with Dr. Ghada. I still remember the time we first met. She was the president of WCC-APR and visited Anxi County, China. As one of the jury members for the Anxi's application for WCC Craft City for the Rotten and Crafts, I witnessed her dedication, work ethic, perseverance, and broad knowledge. Since then, through WCC-APR Executive Board and the WCC Executive Board meetings, I had developed more work connection with her and was touched by her devotion, kindness, and selflessness. She gave me great support. We have very good communication and established very deep and pure personal friendship. She was like my older sister. So far from 1,000 miles away, when I condole with her and miss her, I can't sleep well. There are several stories about her flew before my eyes. As all people say, she has made great contribution to WCC and the WCC-APR. I'd say not only that, she has also made such great contribution to lots of countries, arts and crafts industry. She had left us her great legacy that we ought to carry on. We feel great weight of sorrow during the pandemic, and Ghada's passed away was a great loss. I really hate the COVID-19, the devil. It took my closest friend's life. May we unite together, inherit her spirit, and work together to help craftsmen all over the world to survive the pandemic and to rebuild after the pandemic. I'm ready to contribute to and serve this cause. I would like to work with you together. So I want to serve for our cause. May her great soul rest in peace and be blessed in heaven. Thank you very much. Pray for her, pray for every friend here.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nien Shah. We move on to Southeast Asia. If I can now call upon Madam Francisca Lembong, past Vice President WCC-APR for Southeast Asia. Francesca, please.
Good afternoon. You're all. I'm talking on behalf of the Dekranas Indonesia, the Madam Hajah Mufidah Yusuf Kala, and all the artisans and the craft sector in Indonesia, especially from Yogyakarta and also Gianyar, Bali. We are truly, truly shocked and saddened by the news and the passing of Dr. Ghada. She was a mentor. She was a good friend for all of us here in the craft sector in Indonesia. We would like to give our sincere condolences, deepest condolences to the family and also all the good friends at WCC. She was, the first time I met her was in Isfahan. I still vividly remember. I was in the same car with her and I was just amazed by her dedication, her energy, and then the sincere heart of really would like to help all the artisans in Asia Pacific region at that time. I was just amazed. With her age, I would like suspected, people would like to enjoy their life, with all the hard work they have done, but not with Dr. Ghada. She always wants to teach. She always wants to give. She always wants to help others becomes better. Every time she visited, our exhibition, when we go to to visit the artisans, the village, she always liked to talk and then she always give her opinion to make things better. She was truly an educator. She was truly a mentor. She was truly have a big, big heart. We will miss her dearly. Thank you so much, Dr. Ghada. We will always remember you. May you rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Francesca. We move to the South Pacific region. If I can invite Dr. Kevin Murray, as past Senior Vice President WCC-APR, to give his message. Dr. Kevin.
Thank you very much, Edric, and my condolences particularly to the family of Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi. I had the great privilege of spending much time with Dr. Ghada during particularly the World Craft City events, and I have very fond memories of the pleasure she would take in recounting various historical details related to the crafts. She had incredible erudition. She was herself a walking encyclopedia. And sometimes, we think book learning may be a little distant from the nuts and bolts of life, but Dr. Ghada's scholarship was something that gave depth to the idea of heritage. And in essence, that is what the World Craft Council is about, connecting us to our heritage. So I feel very sad with the sudden news of her demise, and I'm very pleased that the family, obviously supporting her legacy, will continue to see that her vision continues. And I look forward to seeing that legacy continue over the next years. May she rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kevin Murray from Australia. We move now to South Asia. If I can invite Luva Nahid Chowdhury to say a few words, please.
I'm sorry, I have a very poor connection. I don't think I can start my video. I'd just like to say that Dr. Ghada was like a beacon to us, and we had the opportunity to witness in 2019 how much Dr. Ghada felt for craftspersons, especially in such a remote place in Sonargaon in Bangladesh. I mean, had it not been for her, these young money weavers at Sonargaon might never have earned the recognition. So we are deeply saddened by her departure, and offer our condolences to the family and to the World Crafts Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luva. We will now invite Ms. Vida Tavahodi, representing West Asia, representing the Vice President for WCC West Asia. Ms. Vida, please.
Hello, good afternoon. But I am so shocked about this news. But in this meeting, Dr. Puya Mahmoudian is present, and I would like to have a time to express our condolence about Dr. Ghada. Dr. Ghada is a very, very great for us and for every artisans in Iran. And I will never forget her beautiful smile. And this time is a great sunless in Iran for Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi. Was such a loving friend of our culture, I know, and we express our most sincere and deepest condolence to family and friends and colleagues and member of the WCC and WCC-APR, the unexpected demise of our Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi. And she will always be a symbol and example of a unique woman for us. Please ask Dr. Puya Mahmoudian to express her idea. Thank you so much.
Yes, is Dr. Mahmoudian, are you on the line?
Yeah.
Yes, would you like to say a few words, please, Dr. Puya?
Could you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Could you see me? Greetings from Iran. Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi demise is a tragic loss for all traditional crafters all around the world. The Iranian artisan will never forget her appreciation of and belief in the Iranian handicrafts. Her demise is an irretrievable loss for the world of handicrafts. On behalf of the Iranian artisans, I would like to express my heartfelt condolences to her beloved family, to and my colleagues in the World Craft Council. May her soul rest in peace. Dr. Ghada Hijjawi, we will never forget you and your goodness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Puya, for your message. If I can now please call on Ms. Ayjan Bekolova from Kazakhstan, representing WCC-APR Central Asia.
Good day, dear friends from all regions of the world. With the deepest sorrow, I got the news of Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi passing away. In these solemn days, I want to send my condolences to her family, friends, colleagues, in Kuwait and craft community in the world, in the whole world. Dr. Ghada held an important position in the World Craft Council Asia Pacific and World Craft Council President of World Craft Council International. She was an outstanding, extraordinary person who contributed a lot of into its prosperity and left indelible mark in the history of World Craft Council. I was happy to work with her. I'm sure that a lot of people will remember her. Dr. Ghada initiated publishing of World Craft Encyclopedia, where we collected information on crafts of the enormous region of Asia and Pacific and made accessible for the readers. Dr. Ghada visited Kazakhstan and our Shiber craft competition as the honorary guest and member of jury. Many Kazakh artisans know and respect her. Today, they all together with those who grieve and send their condolences. Rest in peace, dearest Dr. Ghada. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayjan. We are going around the globe, and I noticed that our friend from Latin America, Barbara Velasco, is here in our meeting as well. Barbara, would you like to say a few words on behalf of Latin America?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for this invitation to be part of this honor for Dr. Ghada. Dr. Ghada for me is a wonderful, extraordinary woman. I have the honor to be with her and to be inside of the mine in Artigas and walking together in the middle of the night with our baggage in Montevideo. And I have a lot of funny history with her. And I can say that I was shocked. I was really shocked because for me was a mentor, and also because I can say that we always feel with Dr. Ghada that you have a knowing looking or this kind of smile or complicity that you can connect with her a lot with her, and she was always there connecting with you. And I always feel this connection with Latin America and with all of us. And I can say that I have in my memory an enormous brand with Dr. Ghada inside of my work, and I always work in her memory. And I also say that her family, that she was always with her family. He was always talking about her family, and she was always looking something gift for her dentist, and for these details that made her wonderful, gorgeous, and smiling, sparkly lady. Thank you for this opportunity, and love for her, and love for her family.
Thank you, Barbara. That is very touching, because to me, she's always been like a headmistress or a principal, you know, to me, and always leading me, guiding me, and telling me when I'm going wrong. That's Dr. Ghada. Finally, can I also now invite, on behalf of representing UNESCO, can I ask Richard Engelhardt, Dr. Richard Engelhardt, to say a few words, please? Richard?
Thank you, Edric, for inviting me to speak. So many other people have already said so many eloquent and heartfelt things about their memory of Dr. Ghada that it is hard for me to add anything to this. But certainly I can say that from my experience with this wonderful woman, she has been one of the cultural heroes of our generation. She has brought heritage to life and given the past a role to play in our future. And I think that that is the legacy that we wish to memorialize here, and we wish to carry on her behalf, that we should always take what she has taught us to give the heritage a role to play in the life of our future communities, wherever in the world they may be. And so for her memory, not only as a great leader of the World Craft Council, but as an inspiring human being and an erudite scholar, her memory will certainly live far, far into the future. And with every single craft that is made by every artisan around the world, there will be a little bit of Dr. Ghada's heart in that creation. May she rest in peace.
Thank you, Dr. Richard Engelhardt. And now moving back to home base in Kuwait, our final speaker is Professor Ali Al-Najadah from Kuwait. Professor Ali, please.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah, thank you, Edric. And it's very hard to start talking about Dr. Ghada. My condolences to all of you, my good friends, and to Dr. Ghada's two sons, Dr. Nabil and Mr. Saad, and to her grandsons or children and her family. I have been very fortunate and very blessed to know Dr. Ghada for the past about 12 years. And we shared a lot of great ideas, good ideas, and we tried so hard to establish new projects in Kuwait. Unfortunately, things did not work out until the last few months, or specifically last few days, and just, I believe, probably 5 days before she, peace upon her soul, passes away, I sent her a document on how to, or it was a 10-year plan to revive the handcrafts in the Arab world that was set in 1995. And I asked her if we can do something about, again, using that plan to revive the handcrafts in the Arab world. She had a dream of starting a handcraft center in Kuwait, and she was hoping to have an academy of crafts she talked to me about in Oman. And I was going to tell her that her prayers and her wishes are about to come true in Kuwait, because the Expo 965 team, it's a voluntary team for heritage handcrafts exhibitions and talented Kuwaitis. We received a contract of from here, Kuwait, the Council for Arts, Arts and Lit. They gave us a building to start a new center. It's going to be called Kuwait Center for Heritage Crafts and Talented Kuwaitis. So that was one of the things that she wanted to have in Kuwait. And I didn't have the time to pass this good news to her because of her departure, the sudden departure. And also I was informed that the Public Authority for the Youth is about to start a program, starting what they want to call it, the Academy of Handcrafts for the Youth. So those are the two good news that I was unfortunate to pass to her. Sorry, to pass to her before we lose her. But I'm sure that she is there somewhere in heavens, that she is listening to us and she got the message. And I would say, you know, Dr. Ghada, you are a very effective leader who wanted and she liked and she did surround herself by great leaders, just like you all. And you were a very successful motivator, and you have motivated all of us to be very productive and very effective in the arena of handicrafts. And I myself promise, Dr. Ghada, and I'm sure that we all do the same, that we will try to the best of our knowledge and the best of our experiences to carry this legacy and move forward with the handcrafts in Asia Pacific region and also in the world, because she was not limited to the Asia Pacific region. She wanted to share her experience and leadership with the entire world. And if I may just take a few seconds to suggest one of three things, either to have a scholarship to promote handcrafts under her name, or maybe have some sort of an award under her name for handcrafts that can be given every certain time, period of time. I know that we have the handcrafts award, but that's something will be dedicated and nominated under her name. And I will highly suggest that we collectively write a book to honor her legacy. Everybody can contribute with a page or two and put it all together in her memory, that maybe can be published in our next international conference and exhibition in Uzbekistan. Thank you so much, and my condolences to all, and thank you for giving me the time to express my feelings. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. We have a message to represent, or a messenger to represent the African countries. Can I call upon Ms. Vasant Nosaya to now take the microphone? Vasant? Yes, can you unmute Vasant, please?
Hello, everyone, and condolences to, of course, the family of Dr. Ghada, all the members of her family, friends, colleagues, and all the WCC family, as well as all those attending this tribute. In fact, it has been, as for everyone, a really heartbreaking shock to know the news, but also to think a bit about how to still stay in touch and connected to that incredible and distinguished character. And as I've been privileged over the last 10 years to know her on personal and professional levels, but actually she set a very high bar to everyone in their positions when it comes to dedication, passion, and genuine support to the crafts and artisans and the craft professionals all over the world. And as challenging it might have been to her in some occasions, and still she performed unbelievably and uniquely in most of the situations she has been going through, and the challenges she have faced, and still had the passion and the urge to do more. She still gives us and handing over this challenge to each and every one of us to keep her legacy going and make sure that we do have a genuine role as well, all of us in their positions. So may she rest in peace. May she find the eternal calmness and serenity. And may all those who loved her find patience and stay connected to her in all the best way possible. Thank you, everyone, and deepest condolences to every one of her family. We will definitely miss her deeply, but just we have nothing to say but to pray for Almighty to grant her the mercy and the serenity she deserves.
Thank you. Thank you, President. And I'd like to now invite Megan Black from Canada, representing World Crafts Council North America. Megan, you're online. Would you like to say a few words, please?
I just wanted to thank you, Edric, and everyone who organized this event today for allowing us all to come together and grieve and honor Dr. Ghada for all of her beautiful work. I haven't seen Dr. Ghada or hadn't seen Dr. Ghada in many years in person, but I have fond memories of meeting her over a decade ago, and ever since then she had kept in touch, kept communicating, kept encouraging, and especially in North America where we struggled for a while to come together. And so she was a great inspiration to help us keep moving forward and upward. And I know that the strength that she shared with us will continue to fuel those efforts and more. So I'll keep it brief, but I just wanted to thank her family for sharing her with all of us, and thank her country also for supporting the work that she did, and that will continue to honor her memory and everything that she gave to all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Megan. A very close friend of hers really wants to say a few words. Madam Vijaya-Rajan. Madam Vijaya-Rajan, are you online?
Yes, I'm online. Can you hear me?
Yes, but we cannot see you.
Yes. Okay. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, let me first thank you, Edric, for allowing me to say a few words. I've known Ghada, Dr. Ghada, at least for 2 decades, and I have known her very closely for many years on a various visits to India. And of course, on my visit to Kuwait, where she hosted me a vegetarian meal and took me to her family and introduced me to her sons and grandchildren and all that. And she was a very warm and affectionate person, let alone her leadership and her contribution to the Craft Council, the Asia Pacific or World Craft Council. But a very warm, affectionate friend. And I sincerely wish
that God had given her a few more lives to, years to serve the WCC International. But that's not to be. Let us hope her soul rest in peace. My condolences to the family and to you, my dear friend Hendrik. Thank you so much and all the best. Bye.
Thank you, Madam Wijayarajan. And to wrap it up, let's give the floor to Mr. Indrasen Venkatachalam from UNESCO. Mr. Indrasen, would you like now to take the microphone?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I just want to share all the elogies that have been made of Dr. Ghada. I had the privilege of having a confidence as an advisor to WCC-APR and to witness a unique commitment to the craftspeople, not only in Asia, but in other regions. I think the best tribute that we can make to Dr. Ghada is to enrich and preserve the legacy of this commitment, enthusiasm, and continue her work. She will miss us, we will miss her, and let us hope that we can work together to make what she stood for the craftspeople everywhere. I'm very sad to lose Dr. Ghada, and I pray that her soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Indrasen. Let's now observe a minute of silence as prayers are being offered from Kuwait for the soul of Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا
Can I invite my colleague, Mr. Aziz Mutazaif, Vice President for Central Asia, to say the concluding words for this special memorial service. Aziz, please.
Thank you. May Allah forgive the sins and reward her with a place in heavens. May Allah grant the family, relatives, and friends with a beautiful patience. Dear friends and colleagues, a person who has left behind only good deeds will never live forever, will live forever. And no doubt Dr. Ghada was just that person. I know that Dr. Ghada was very dear to each of us, and it will not be easier to grieve of losing her for a long time. If we gave the floor to people from every continent, every sub-region, and each of us, we could talk about her for hours. We felt today as she was with us, and we thank everyone who joined us today for this memorial tribute and who could not, but were spiritually with us. With your permission, I would like to thank Dr. Adham Ikramov for his initiative to hold today's meeting, Mr. Edric Ong and Madame Manjari Nirula WCC-APR Secretariat for organizing today's session. And for concluding, I would like to give the closing remarks to Dr. Ikramov.
Your Excellencies, dear family of Dr. Ghada Hijjawi-Qaddumi, Your Excellency Mr. Saad and Mr. Nabil, please refer all our condolences for your big family, for sons, daughters, grandson, and granddaughters of Dr. Ghada. Dear all, thank you for write to the chat of this Zoom online conference, and we, of course, input all of your condolences words to our official site of WCC-APR. Thank you for all the past president of WCC International, past president of WCC-APR, for regional and continental chairs, for your warm words about Dr. Ghada. And I'm especially thanks to Madam Manju and Mr. Edric Ong to support us. All times, the memory of Dr. Ghada will be in our heart, and we many times together will be share this absolutely clever, intelligent, scientist person as Dr. Ghada. I think not so many people, when they and families who share all of the worlds who is felt a sadness as we today feeling. And again, Allah rahmatiga wasan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.